Hi, welcome back to Christine's Home Affairs. We have got another mystery project today. So if you can handle the suspense, you're not going to fast forward to the end of the video and see what it is we're actually going to make. You're just going to come along and make it with me. All we need is one piece of fabric, nothing else. And it's just a small scrap. So this is going to be a fantastic scrap buster. This piece is 4 by 12 inches, which is about 10 by 30 centimeters. It doesn't even have to be as big as this. As long as you can fold it, it'll be useful. So mystery project, scrap buster. For those that love to post their pictures on our Facebook group, I'm going to start a thread that is just for the mystery project number 2, because we did one months ago, and pop your photos in there so that we don't spoil the surprise for other people that might want to do this at a later date. So I will put a little link on our Facebook group so that you can pop your photos in there. And I know in the last mystery project, some of you were concerned that you were never going to be able to find this video. So it will only be called a mystery project for about a week, and then I'll change the thumbnail and the image and everybody will know exactly what it is. So without any further fluffing about, let's get to it. You are going to be able to make this in less time than it's going to take you to watch this video. I've got 4 pieces of fabric here. I'm going to be making 4 of these items, and most of them are 4 inches or 10 centimeters in width. This one's a little bit narrower because that's all the fabric that I had. What are we going to do? We're going to fold. We're going to need our ironing mat. Let's fold this in half lengthwise, press it, and then we're going to fold the raw edges into the center. We don't even need any stabilizer for this. We don't need swivel clips or D-rings, nothing at all. It's just a very simple, quick little project that you can give as a gift. And I'm sure every person that you know will appreciate one of these. Fold that in half again. It's almost like making bag handles, but we're not. And I'm going to do the same for these pieces. Once we've folded the raw edges in, we'll fold this in half again. So bring the raw edges together at the top there, and just stick your finger in this little gap that you've got here and kind of pivot it around whilst you're holding this taut, and that will get rid of any folds that your fabric will have when you push it together at the bottom. It gets rid of that last little crease. And then iron that to find the center, and there's no little fold or pleat on the inside there. So I've done that for all 4 of my fabric pieces. Now what we're going to do is sew right down the center of each one of these. Simple so far, isn't it? So you don't really need to do a back stitch or anything. We're just sewing straight across the center. With that stitched right in the very center there, place the raw edge of your fabric with the folded edges facing up, and we'll take this end of the fabric and we're going to bring that up to meet the other end. So we've got the folds in at the moment. Line it up evenly along the top edge, and as long as you've stitched right along the center, this is going to line up nice and evenly. So just stick your finger in the middle there, bring the fabric down until it becomes a point. And if you have something that's long and pointy, this is, I don't know what this thing's called, but you can use a poker, your seam ripper. On the layer underneath, I'm just poking into the corner at the bottom gently, and then this top layer I'm also poking into the corner gently so that I get a nice point at the bottom here, and this is lined up along the sides. Hold that down, and I'll do the same on this side. Give it a poke, give it a poke, and then you've got a really nice triangular shape at the bottom and your sides all nicely lined up. I'll clip that together on both sides to hold it in place. And I'm going to do two different techniques for this project. I've got the other pieces folded in the same way. So for this first one, all we're going to do is take the raw edges at this end here, open that out, separate them from each other, and you've got the triangle section in the middle. Fold that out of the way and bring the raw edges back together to meet. And then we're going to open the whole thing out. And if you need to see that again, I'll show it to you one more time on the next one. So line up your fabric all the way across the short ends, and we're going to sew that together. So let's take this one here. We've got this secured in place along the bottom. I'm just going to fold that up and out of the way. Grab this one, fold that back, grab the back one, fold that back as well until they meet, and then open it out and then clip it together. I'm not going to do this one just yet because I want to show you something else in a moment, so I'll quickly do these two. All right, those three are ready. Let's do something a little bit different with this one. I've got some embroidery thread. This is a Pearl 5 embroidery thread, but you can use your normal stranded cotton as well. And I have a ruler. This is about 1.5 inches wide, which is about 3.5 to 4 centimetres. I'm just going to tape this thread onto the back of the ruler, and then I'm going to wind this around the ruler several times. And I want to wind it around so that it's wide enough, or it spreads out enough to fit across the width of this piece of fabric. Once you have enough thread wound around this, grab an extra piece and we're just going to feed that through underneath the layers that we have here. I'm not sure what this is. It's some kind of an overlocker needle threading attachment. Slide the flat section underneath your thread. I have my thread doubled here. And then what I'm going to do is tie that. I'm going to start sliding this off the ruler, and I have to do this carefully. Take it away from the tape, and we're going to tie this together where I've made this loop, and I've probably made a big job for myself here. I'm going to thread the remainder of the thread around a couple of times, and I'll just tie this off for the time being because I want to try and keep my fibres together. And where the knot is here, I'm going to cut this in half at the opposite end of the knot so that I have my thread sitting like this. And if you want to, you can straighten it up. This is only temporary, so what we're going to do now is take the top flap here, move the other one out of the way, open that fabric out. This is where the first fold is and the other fold. We want to spread this thread in between those marks. So we still want this to be able to fold later on. I'll quickly go and stitch these threads in place. I'll be right back. Okay, so you can see I've sewn that right across there. It's a little bit wavy, that doesn't matter, we'll trim everything back later. So let's put the fabric back the way it was with the folds on the inside there. The back and front are lined up evenly along here. Everything's back the way it was. Let's fold this little corner up. We'll fold that one back. Bring that one around. We'll open up the fabric just like we did on the others and line up those edges. And once that's all lined up, we can take everything to the machine and sew right across. And that will hide all these crappy ends. Let's go and sew all these short ends together. If you line the edges up properly now, then it'll make it much easier for you to fold everything back in place when we're finished. That one's done. Now I can do the rest, including this fluffy one. And if you feel it needs it, then you can go and stitch along that twice. I think it'll be fine though, because we've already sewn that in place earlier. Let's turn these the right way out. So bring it back into the position that it was at the points. And we can tidy that up in a minute. Press your seams open. And then we can fold those edges back in again. Once you've got those raw edges folded together, we're not going to fold it in half again. That was just for the beginning. Bring these raw edges to the inside. We've got our seam across the top here. We'll fold the fabric right along that seam and then even it all out again, and using an awl or something with a point, neaten that up along the bottom. You can hold that in place with a clip. Do the same on this side. So tidy up both layers, and now we're going to sew across the top, down the long side, down to the point, up the side, and we're finished. I'll iron this before I take it to the machine though. With this one, I'll trim those bits, press the seam open again, and then I'll fold those edges back into the centre, then turn this and fold that right along the top seam. This doesn't look very pretty at the moment. We'll fix that shortly. Bring the points out once more. I will just even this up along the top as well, just so that there are no folds in the fabric, and that's ready to be ironed and sewn in place. Let's do that now. I'm starting at the top edge where the fold is, and I'll sew those layers in place along the edge. Down to the point and up and along the other side. And if you want to, you can sew it along the top edge. With this one, I'll do the same, but I will make sure I sew along the top edge. And that will reinforce those threads a little bit more. And there we go, our bookmarks are completely finished. So this one here is a little bit narrower because I didn't have enough fabric, but I think they all look great. And with this, I'll just chop off that bit that was tied around, fluff it out a bit, and then give it a haircut. Easy. Looks like a rocket ship now, doesn't it? Probably doesn't look any better, but it's something you can do with it. Now you obviously know what we've made because I let it slip. Here we have a few little bookmarks. This one's a little bit dodgy, but you could colour it in to make it look like a space rocket for a little kid. But they're such an easy project to do, so simple. One piece of fabric, doesn't matter how long you make them, doesn't matter how wide you make them either, as long as you have it wide enough to fit inside your book. I did go and make a couple of extras as well. If you've got an embroidery machine, you can go and embroider somebody's name on there. So I've made this one for Mum. I made this one for Mum too, but I forgot to centre the fabric when I cut it out. So she gets 2 for the price of 1. Something only a mother can love. I told you at the beginning of the video that you'll be able to make these quicker than the length of this video, and I'm already over 14 minutes into the video. It took me 9 minutes from cutting, ironing to finishing to make one of these. So you could make up a whole batch of these for your loved ones, anybody that you know that loves to read books, or insert them into your notepads. You could actually make the bookmark and the notebook pen holders and give those as a gift to somebody together. That would be a really nice Christmas gift, and both of those are very quick and easy to make. So how did you like that mystery project? Would you like me to make more of them? If so, let me know down in comments. Before I go, I received a card in the mail yesterday. So this is from Round Rock, USA, TX must be Texas. It was mailed on the 16th of November. I received this on the 5th of December. So that didn't take too long at all. Let me open this up. It's glittery. So this is from Christine. Oh, how adorable is that? It's gorgeous. Hello Christine, I hope this finds you and Chris doing well. I just watched the video of your refreshed sewing area. Wow, that is so great. Your channel offers so much for everyone who wants no-nonsense patterns, methods to make so many different items. You put a lot of work into your tutorials and make the basic steps similar across items in the same category. I appreciate your time and effort. I'm unable to travel, so I'll never see your shop. I'd love to meet you, but I'm thankful we have YouTube and Facebook. Have a terrific week. Hugs and happy thoughts, Christine. Thank you so much, Christine. That is absolutely adorable. I've got my card wall mounted up behind me, so that is going to get put up there along with everybody else's mail that I've received. Feel free to send me postcards. I'm happy to fill up that entire wall with anything that you might send me. My address details, if you do want to send a card, is in the About section on my channel. I hope you've all enjoyed this video, and I shall catch you next time. Bye for now.